Hi friends, Sergeant Hosteric here at the Type Police. And we got another lady pulled over who claims to be an ENTP. As always, I'm my skeptical law enforcement self. I got my doubts. We're sitting there behind the badge. Let's check out who it is after we hear this exciting theme song. Try as you might, you just can't hide. 'Cause you're mistyped, and I've been waiting to pull you over all night. Type police, type police, please pull that guy over. He says he's my ENTP, but seems extroverted, sensing to me. I think he's ESFP or Type Police. Welcome back to Type Police. Here's the lady. She goes by the name of... Let's look and see what her name is. Nami. Oh, somebody asked me to type this lady this morning. It's funny, somebody asked in a comment, but somebody had previously pointed to her, and I have a folder saved here in my bookmarks called Type Police where I have people that I plan to get to that people recommend. So please continue to recommend people. I use that almost exclusively to find people now, people's comments. So, okay, let's listen to her.
Hello bitchlings, I decided to bring another series back on my channel because there was an opportunity to do that shit, and the series that I'm bringing you guys back is basically me getting salty about things bullshit series. Basically, because I was just today I heard something that made me feel so fucking shitty and annoyed.
Okay, my first gut response is just looking at her. I'm just talking about physicalities now. She looks like an SFP or an STP maybe. She's got those kind of eyes. But that's not reliable as an indicator of anything. So let's just proceed forward. She doesn't look like an ENTP.
At people's ignorance and stupidity that I just wanted to bring this back, okay? And I know I'm gonna probably sound like a fucking SJV over being annoyed by this, but I don't care. I'm just gonna make this video anyway. Sorry for my eyebrows, I'm having a bad eyebrow day today. But anyway, today what I want to talk about is...
Kim, would you agree with that? Is she having a bad eyebrow day?
I mean, maybe. I have a bad eyebrow day every day.
Okay, well... I mean, I think
she's only saying that for people who might even notice.
Who would notice something like that?
I would. But the thing is that she's an ENTP. If she claims to be an ENTP, she wouldn't really care.
Well, that's probably true. But I mean, I don't know. It depends. Let's see. Let's watch her some more.
Darwinism. I just made up that word because there are people who believe so strictly in Darwinism that they resemble more like fucking Nazis or some shit. So Darwinazis, I'm just gonna call that group that. But anyway, the best thing I heard today, walking past this group of friends where this one dude was talking, and I was like, what the fuck? I'm gonna use two other words today on this video. One of which is well, both are fucking Tumblrism, but because there is a lack of a better word, I'm just gonna use them. So there's the neurotypical, which is a person whose brain works perfectly normally. They don't have a mental illness, they don't have any like problems, no anxiety, depression, yada yada yada. Nothing like that, eating disorders, any like mental health issues, no. So a normal person is neurotypical basically, and then you have neurodivergent, which basically just is a word for everybody who has these mental illnesses, yada yada yada, or kind of like problems with how their brain functions. great. Now that we got that out of the way, I heard this guy say that he thinks, basically to his friends, that he thinks that in today's climate of workplaces and how hard it is to work around, he thinks that taking SSRIs and other medications for depression and anxiety is basically doping for life. And I was like, okay, this is interesting, so I'm just gonna listen to what he's gonna say next. And he was like, well, because evolution didn't have these kind of boosts for humankind, and people couldn't like take drugs to feel better about themselves, and people would just die naturally, and that he's thinking that people who take depression medication are actually like doping life, which means that they are cheating, which means that they are not living life the way they were supposed to, in that guy's opinion, I guess. And I just want to weigh in on that shit because it made me really fucking angry, and yes, I reserve the right to be butthurt about this because I have depression and anxiety, and I kind of want to talk about that because, yeah, okay, I'm just gonna sound like an SJV.
Okay, so what she's objecting to is the guy's naturalistic fallacy. It's a simple enough way to put it. There's a fallacy that says something is good or desirable or preferable because it's more natural, and obviously that's a fallacy because I could just easily enough say, well, yes, there's some of my poop in your mashed potatoes, but don't worry, it's entirely natural. Go ahead and eat it. Obviously, that wouldn't be a good justification for you eating it, the fact that it's natural. So just because something's natural doesn't mean it's good. There's a simple fallacy called naturalistic fallacy. She's not approaching it from an argumentational perspective, I don't think, though. She's just approaching it from a personal perspective where she knows from personal experience that these things are important and she feels personally attacked.
She keeps saying, I'm gonna sound like an SJ here. I'm gonna sound like an SJ here.
She says SJV. I don't know what she means by that.
For a while, but forgive me, please. I'm sure that once I say my piece, you will probably think that I have a rational way of looking at this. So, anyway, okay. First of all, my feelings aside, like, would you say that, like, let's just say this, okay? If you're for Darwinism, you should be anti-vax, you should be anti-medications of all kinds. If somebody breaks their leg, boo, fucking who, go jump around with that leg, don't take any medications, we shouldn't help anyone. Is that the way you want to go? Because that sounds like it, okay? The other thing is, if you think that people are taking medications, like mental health medications, just to get ahead in life, like, that's not why we fucking do it. It's not to basically be better at anything than anyone else. Like, he was making it sound like we are taking mental health medication, depression medication, just to fucking manage normal life stress. Dude, that's not how fucking medication...
Okay. Her first argument is that that if we apply his logic of only doing what's natural, then we wouldn't be able to do any other medications or fix injuries or anything. Which is a good argument and not a bad argument. Her second argument here is that his accusation that you're using it to get ahead is false. If I were going to be arguing against his position, I would say there's nothing wrong with using things to get ahead. There's nothing wrong with saying, oh, I behave at a more successful level when I'm on amphetamines, for example, at least some of the time. So that's okay for me to do that because, after all, it's not a zero-sum competition. It's not like every time I'm more successful, other people will have to be less successful for me to be more successful. That's a zero-sum competition. It's not that. It's an additive reality. My being more productive and more successful doesn't take away from the success or productivity of other people. So that's the proper answer to this. She's not going to give the proper answer to this. She's going to say, we're not taking those drugs to get ahead. But that's irrelevant. But let's continue and see. This isn't debate police.
Right, Eric?
Well, the thing is, it's relevant in this issue because she's claiming to be an ENTP, and so if she's an ENTP...
Well, no, it isn't. All you can say is that her argument style is not ENTP. However,
Well, that's what I'm trying to determine. Her first argument is consistent with the ENTP because it's a good argument. But it's not necessarily the case that all ENTPs are going to make the best arguments.
The fact that she has arguments is the fact that how she's arguing them. So
right, I know. Well, that's what I'm talking about, Kim. I'm saying in the first argument, she's making a good logical approach to that argument. She's saying if we apply his logic elsewhere, this is what we come up with, and we don't agree with that, so obviously his logic's bad. Her second argument, though, is she's being frame-walked. In other words, she's accepting his framework unquestioningly, which is not suggestive of ENTP. But I'm not sure at all here yet. This is a interesting case.
Works. You have other issues. You have balance is off in your fucking brain. My brain doesn't work the same way as a neurotypical's brain works. I don't produce the fucking serotonin like you do, which means that basically normal people have the higher up stance in this, and we're just bringing ourselves to the same level by taking our medication. So in that way, you're first and foremost wrong in that sense also, already. And then let's talk about your great view on...
Say what you were just saying, Kim. I was distracted by her.
Oh,
She's not obnoxious?
She doesn't sound obnoxious. She just sounds, really annoyed and trying to get her point across, but she's doing it very quickly. And like you were saying, she doesn't sound very ENTP-like, but she also doesn't sound like she's throwing out a bunch of gobbledygook. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, she's making cogent points. And the other thing is, her FE is not like she's in a way more authentic because her FE is not that great, and as a consequence, it makes it kind of not that bad either. I don't feel like she's playing a character exactly. She's actually like this, even though it's kind of a character-like person, So let's let her go some more.
On the fucking Darwinism thing, okay? If you don't know, Darwinism is the theory of evolution where basically the weak don't survive and the powerful survive, and the genes that kind of that are better for survival will survive because the weak are cut out, and that way different species survive by genetically kind of like evolving during times. But let me break this shit down for you. Listen up. We as humanity have fucked up already. Evolution, no matter. If we just stepped into Darwinism today, our evolution wouldn't be able to change anything quickly enough for us to survive anyway, because we fucked up this planet so much, okay? So basically my new theory is that we have the neurodivergence, and we have the new people, the different thinkers, the people whose brain works in a different way, who are we are more divergent than before because we need new solutions. That's because the evolution is not going to be enough at this point. Like, the planet is in ruins. We need new thinkers. We need new ways of looking at things. And I think that's one of the reasons why we are not Darwinistic anymore. Like, that might be one of the ways that humanity evolves further. So I think that in that way too, like, your Darwinism isn't going to do shit, basically. And the fact that people shouldn't take medications just because they have depression, anxiety, any like mental health issue, how is that different from, for example, a diabetic taking their fucking insulin to survive? Like, there's no fucking difference. How can you be this idiotic? How can you be...
Okay, I'm pretty sold that she's probably an ENTP.
I am too.
I want to look at her channel a little bit more. It's funny, I came into this having watched the very beginning of it briefly once before and thinking that she was not going to be an ENTP. But, nice guys and nice girls. Let's see about this one. It's got 11
Hello
thumbs up.
bitchings! Today I'm making an ENTP rant type of video because this is an issue that I want to talk about. I don't do this kind of stuff that often anymore because I'm mainly like not about the drama and anything, but this is just something that I kind of feel strongly about, so I want to make a video about it, and that is about nice guys. Nice guys finished last, and nice guys this and nice guys that, and I thought that nice guys were a legend, okay? Like, I hadn't encountered any nice guys before, but I guess at some point, like, I was unlucky enough to like get some comments from nice guys in my different social medias, and I just want to like, because some people like creep on like aminos, for example, and they want to like start conversing with you, and they only ask for advice, and because I'm trying to be okay, like nice, okay, to a certain extent, I usually give
her tangenting there is suggestive of ENTP. It could be suggestive of an STP as well, and that's a possibility. She might be an ESTP, but I'm leaning ENTP just because of the way she talks and how she collapses down into these tangents like this. I'm gonna let it go for a little while longer, but I'm pretty sure this lady's gonna walk home a free lady tonight.
people like advice on where to get information and things, so I sometimes like talk to them back because I want to give them the information, okay? And then there are this certain type of like nice guy people who are super annoying, and I'm like always kind of, and also girls, there are like nice girls too. So I'm always on the lookout for certain like little things that they do. One of the things that all the nice guys and nice girls seem to do is that they always tell you how nice they are. Like, That's the number one red flag. If you're actually nice, you don't have to tell people and keep telling people how nice you are. Like, actually, because people will notice how nice you are, and you don't have to rub it in people's faces. You don't have to prove it because you are actually being nice. So when you tell me you are a nice girl or a guy, I don't believe you, because you're probably not that nice. You're not probably nice. And usually, I'm super like annoyed by this, okay? These kind of conversations drive me nuts. Like, it starts off usually with them like asking you help for something or something, and then you answer like, yeah, this, that, do this, do that. Then they start like complimenting you, which is like, okay, that's fine. Like, I don't care that much. But usually I tell people like, yeah, I'm taken, and just so you know, I'm not interested. I'm only here to look for advice on this, like amino or something. And usually, what they come up with is like, oh yeah, I see, so you're a fucking bitch because you don't talk to me, and you end up thinking that because I compliment you that I want something with you, and I'm like, no, let's just drop the subject, whatever, I just wanted to be clear to you and honest. So either you are honest and you tell them like you're not interested at all, and they go off on you, or the other thing is that you don't say anything, and then they go off on you because you didn't say anything. So none of this shit is good enough for nice guys, because they're so nice, and they treat you so well that they have a free kind of like creep up on
Delilah.
Yeah, she is very Delilah-ish, huh?
Yes.
Delilah's not nearly as edgy as this lady is.
Well, this lady's older.
But she's very much like Delilah.
Yeah.
Alright, well, you're going free, lady. The logical calculus there of the social interactions and your impatience with it is great. It's very FI polar. You've got no basic understanding that these people are coming at you from feelings of insecurity and stuff like that, or sympathy for it. If you are aware of it, you're just like, this is irrational, fuck you. So yeah, you're either an ESTP or an ENTP, and I think the same thing about my daughter. Sometimes I think she might be an ESTP, but I'm pretty sure she's an ENTP, and I'm pretty sure you are as well. Regardless, you're close enough to go free. So that concludes this episode of The Type Police, unless you got anything else to add, Kim? No. All right, then. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time for another exciting episode of The Type Police. Try as you might, you just can't hide, 'cause you're mistyped. And I've been waiting to pull you over all night. Type Police, Type Police. Please pull that guy over. He says he's my ENTP, but seems extroverted, sensing to me. I think he's ESFP or Type Police.